All right. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Damilare. I'm the coordinator of labs by Bincom. All right. Apologies again for the delay. Quickly, I want people on the call currently to introduce themselves. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Damilare. Right, so I want you to introduce yourself, right? And how would you be introducing yourself? You'll be telling us your full name, your tech career track, that is what you do, and why you are here in Labs by Bincom. All right, so who wants to build the cards? We have Timmy, we have Samuel, we have Emmanuel. Who wants to go first? We have Itunwa, we have Samuel. So who wants to go first in introducing themselves?
Okay, can I go first?
Yes, definitely, please. And quick one, before you start, this is a video meeting, right? And we'd love everybody to be on their video as much as possible. All right, thank you, Netimi. All right, you can proceed. Your voice is it your network? We cannot hear you at all. We could not hear you. I think your network is bad. Please kindly check that. Emmanuel, can you go then? I think Timmy's network is a bit bad. Is Emmanuel on this call? It's all. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I don't know if you can hear me.
All right. Yes, I
can.
Can
You hear me? Okay.
Yes. All right. So introduce yourself and tell us what you do.
Okay. Hello, everyone. My name is Itoha. I am a digital marketer. Yes, came to my mind. Yes, I'm a digital marketer, and I'm here to see what today is all about.
All right, thank you. All right, thank you. Samuel, please introduce yourself. Emmanuel, you're coming next before we go back to Timmy. Can you hear Samuel?
Yes, I hear you.
Can you please introduce yourself?
My name is Samuel Jara. My purpose is digital marketing.
We can't hear you clearly, please.
Okay. Good evening, everybody. My name is Samuel Jara. My career path is digital marketing. and that's why
All right,
I'm here
thank
for
you, Samuel.
labs.
Okay.
You can hear me.
Yes, we can hear you now.
All right, guys. My name is Samuel Dela. I'm a career path is digital marketing. And the reason why I'm here for labs is because I want to experience how to be this tech startup.
All right. All right. So can we move to welcome Samuel? Can we move to Timmy or Emmanuel?
Okay. Hi, everyone. Hi, everyone.
Hi, Emmanuel.
Can you all hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay. My name is Emmanuel Pupan. I'm a back-end developer. I use majorly .NET and PHP LAMP stacks. My reason for joining Labs is to develop my skills and become globally attractive.
All right. You are welcome.
Did you get that? Okay.
Yes,
Thank you.
we did. You are welcome. Timmy, are you there?
Yes, sir. Can you hear me, sir?
Yes, we can hear you.
Um,
The network is really, really bad.
okay, can I drop my details on the chat box?
All right, please do that so that we can quickly move on. All right. So just give me a moment. All right. I'm back. Can everyone still hear me?
Yes,
Yeah, we can
yes.
hear
Let me know
you.
if you can hear me.
Yes, we can hear you. We can hear you.
Okay. All right. So let me do a quick rundown of what we will be achieving today. First and foremost, I want to welcome everybody again to the Labs by Bincom, right? Having done the introduction of each person, I would go into the details of what we would be doing today. First and foremost is the introduction. Secondly, we'll be moving into an overview of Labs by Bincom. When I mean an overview, it's what Labs by Bincom is all about, what you are to expect, right? What you are to do, and at the end of the day, what you are to benefit from Labs by Bincom. After which, we'll be moving into a brief training session. Our trainer will be joining us very, very soon. All right. After which, we'll be moving into a brief interactive session. Right. So quickly, I'll be sharing my screen now. Right. I'll be sharing my screen now so that we can I can take you through an overview of Labs by Bincom. All right. So please, if you can see my screen, please let me know. Okay. All right, can we all see my screen? Let me know if you can see my screen.
Yes, I can see your screen, sir.
All right, Emmanuel, can you see my screen?
Yes, I can
Samuel,
see it.
can you see my screen?
Yes.
Yeah, we can see you.
All right. All right, thank you. Let me just bring this to slideshow. I think it's loading. All right. While my screen is loading, let me just give you an overview. All right, it's ready. So, Labs by Bincom. What is Labs by Bincom? Labs by Bincom is a 3 to 6 month program that brings together participants to build a digital technology product, which would be used by real life users. Now, what I mean by digital technology product is a product that is technology based, that anybody can use without needing to come to your office or see you physically to get it to work. All right. Now, what is Labs basically? It's a pre-incubator program designed to help you build ideas into minimum viable products. All right. And quickly, what is in for you? It's an active program with real life projects. All right, a virtual lab where you can own your skills and practice what you have learned at Bincom Dev Center. You can use it for your IT placement for as many of us that are students. And if you're a graduate and you're hoping to use this as an option for employment, to include it in your CV, all right, you're open to do that. We would stand as a reference for you when you do that. And it's also an opportunity to join. NYSC members, IT students, tech professionals, fresh graduates, and freelancers are all open to join Labs by Bincom. All right, what are the skills involved? What I mean by skills is career tracks also. All right, so we have various skills here that you might need in Labs by Bincom: PHP, front end, back end development, Python, project management, product management, infrastructure, UI and UX design. Now, when I mention this, I'm not saying one person should own all these skills. No, you don't have to be jack of all trades, quote unquote, right? Knowing one of these skills is perfect. In fact, even if you're a beginner, welcome to Labs by Bincom. All right, so how it works. So I'll be doing a brief dive into how Labs by Bincom works. All right, so like I said, Labs by Bincom is a 3 to 6 months program. All right, and participants from different learning tracks are put together in a team. All right, and each team contains about 3 to 10 participants. And the goal of every team is to build a startup, a tech startup, a product-led digital technology startup. Details of that would be explained in the course of today's meeting, what all that means. However, your product needs to solve a problem. That means there must be a problem you identify and want to build a solution for it. That's why you're creating a startup in the first place. Well, we have 3 stages to the program. Actually, 4 stages. We have the preliminary stage, we have the stage 1, stage 2, and stage 3. This is the preliminary stage, all right? And we have the stage 1 where you start working on ideas with your team. Stage 2 is when you start building your product and your startup. And stage 3 is when you start using real life when you start testing your product with real life users. Like I said, it's a pre-incubator program. What is required of you? You need to devote some time. This is not a program where you can breeze through and be dormant while your other team members work. No, this is not a program for that. You need to be active. All right, you need to be active in your team. You need to attend meetings. You need to hold your own end of the responsibility, because each team member will have a responsibility. Can we all still hear me, just to be sure I'm not talking to myself?
Yes, I can hear you.
Feedback.
I can hear you.
Hear me?
Yeah, I'm hearing you. I'm hearing you.
Okay. All right. Okay. So like I said, you need to devote 8 hours a week at least, right, with your team members. Each team ceases to exist after 3 active members. Ceases to exist when it is less than 3 active members. If you have less than 3 active members in your team, then we'll have to close the team. But before we get into that, let me just take you through some other. Now, quickly, let me emphasize on this, right, before we move on. There's something in red. Who would like to read it? Emmanuel, would you like to read what is in red? Can you see it? Can anyone still hear me?
We can hear you.
Yes, I can. We can hear you.
All right, is Emmanuel, or should I choose somebody? There's something in red I want you to read so that everyone can hear you. All right, let me read it myself. Important, do not invest in any idea you do not wish to be in the public domain in Labs by Bincom. So, meaning if you have an idea that you've had in your mind since childhood or since when you were in school, and you feel this idea will change the whole world when you activate the idea and when you bring the idea to life, right? And it's so dear to you. Please do not bring it to Labs by Bincom, because your ideas will be in public domain. Anybody can take it, right? I just wanted to brief you on that. So it is important that whatever idea you are bringing to Labs by Bincom is technically not your own idea anymore. All right, what we expect from you: weekly commitment, teamwork with fellow participants, work with your mentor along the way, study and follow all rules involved, which will be detailed much later. All team communications must be on a Slack channel. All right, what you should expect from us: a platform where you can practicalize your skill sets, collaborate with other career tracks and other team members, other techies, and be exposed to quality mentorship. If you can hear me, just say I. I think the network is a bit bad across board today.
Hi.
All right, thank you. So like I said, there are 3 stages to the program. Stage 1, preliminary stage, is what we are doing right now. Stage 1 is where you start coming up with your ideas and documenting your idea, whatever product you'll be building, right? This is the period where your team would need to come up with the idea and document it, all the things you'll be needing to implement the idea. Stage 2 is when you start building your product. If you need to build an app, a web app, a website, if you need to do a design, you need to open social media accounts. This is the stage where you start doing that, which is stage 3. Stage 2, I mean. Now, stage 3 is when you run a prototype of your product. You test it with real life users, right? And after stage 3, you can then rework your product. Either you remove some features, you add some features, depending on the feedback you get from the real life users. All right, so we have a cross-functional team, meaning that your team might not have all the career tracks. For example, you're a project manager. You might need to take up a skill in digital marketing to be able to cover up if you cannot get a digital marketer on your team. All right, so this is the important part of Labs by Bincom. If you can hear me, say hi.
Hi.
Because everybody seems frozen on my screen here. Can we all see me?
We can hear you.
Very bad. All right, so to the important parts. As a team, we will be giving you a mentor. Each team would have, it was a startup experience, who can give you advice. All right, so you are in safe hands. You won't be doing this all by yourself as a team. You would have a more experienced person to guide your team as you build your products. Participation tracking. Right, like I said, Labs by Bincom is not a program you can just breeze through and stay dormant. We have 3 stages at which we track participants. 1 on the individual stage. We have a training curriculum, or I would say the Labs by Bincom curriculum, which each team members or each participant would have to go through, right? We would be requiring a progress report from each team member as regards this curriculum, right? Now, the second stage is team, on the team level. As a team, we would be monitoring each participant's contribution to the team. Of course, each team would have a team lead, which would definitely be getting reports about the team. Now, what would we be tracking? Just to let you know ahead of time, we'll be tracking your attendance in meetings, your meetings with mentors, and if you are actually taking up any task that has been assigned to you in your team. Then the third level will be the mentor assessment. We'll be having monthly mentor, we'll be meeting with your mentors, right? Your team mentor on a monthly basis, and we'll be getting reports on participants that have been coming to the meetings and how they've been faring as a team. All right, so all this will be tracked on our Bincom Tech Network Slack channel. We have a Slack channel where all participants would be communicating. Now, it is important to note that any participants deemed not active would be removed from the cohort. It is important you know this. All right, so this is the training curriculum that we made available once everybody is on board. So this is the details of the training curriculum. Why I'm breezing through this is so that our invited trainer would be able to take us through some of these things before we go into the last session of the program. All right, I know you all have a lot of questions right after this, but do not worry, all your questions will be answered adequately. All right, quickly. So I don't know if you have any questions, you can drop your questions in the chat box for now, so that it will be attended to once our trainer is done speaking to us. All right, Mr. Moody is our trainer, the Technician Digital Training course. All right, and talking about startups generally. So, Mr. Moody, I don't know if you can hear me, sir.
Yes, I can. Can you see me? Hi, guys. Can you guys hear me?
Yes, I can, sir.
All right. Hi, everyone. Okay. How's everyone doing?
Yes, we can see you, sir, Mr. Moody.
All right. Thank you very much. Thank you for taking the time to join. Thank you. We have, how many hours do I have? I like to talk a lot.
I think the network is really bad. We can barely hear you, sir.
You guys can barely hear me?
Me, I can hear you.
You can hear me well? All right.
Oh, okay, it's clearer now.
All right. Hi, guys. How's everyone doing? Good afternoon. My name is Moody, product manager at Social Lender, and also lead the operations team at Social Lender, right? And I'll be taking you guys through a digital platform, digital learning platform for Technician, because that's the guide that we use for our training. That's the guide that we like everybody to go through. It's a repository of knowledge. It's where you can find simple training on everything that you need to know about starting a business, building a small business, starting a team, building a team, as the case may be. The purpose of Labs by Bincom is to give you an opportunity to build a digital-led product, right? That means you're going to work in groups, you're going to work in teams, you're going to be able to take some of these products to the market. You're going to have to do customer research. So if you come up with an idea to say you want to build an app, you know, who is this app for? Where can you find the customer segmentation that needs this app? You have to go to the market and do R&D. You know, a lot of people don't know how to go about R&D. So the course, the digital course that I'm going to run you through has a repository of knowledge where you can learn, oh, I want to do an R&D. What's the first thing to do? Your course is about that. I want to do branding, or we're in the stage where we can brand our product. What's the next thing we should be doing? There are courses on the platform. I want to, we don't have a graphic skill. How do we leverage on that? How do we leverage on go-to-market, for example? What are the go-to-market steps? You know, this course would take you there. So let me just share my screen. Hopefully, the host has to allow me to share my screen. Hi, host. I'm not a co-host, so I can share my screen.
All right, I'll fix that now, sir.
All right. So the idea is that you're working on your startup within Labs by Bincom. The idea is, all right, the idea is that you have a product that you're building. You can see my screen, I believe.
It's still, I think it's still loading up. Yes, we can see your screen now.
Okay, fantastic. Right. So we are using a standard platform. This knowledge are available everywhere else. I just wanted to put that caveat. This knowledge are available everywhere else, but we wanted a portal that is standardized, that we can trust, and that have professionals that are taking these courses. So, for example, some of the courses you find here are courses you can find in other platforms, but just for Labs by Bincom to have is a repository or a body of work that everybody can access at the same time and learn the same thing at the same time. We choose to use this platform, the Digital Business Academy, put together by TechNation, right? And what are the benefits of using this platform? It is very focused. So it takes you through the noise and takes you to the exact points, tips, and connect you directly to experts. Tips from expert point, they are not beating around the bush. We're talking about things that you cannot connect with. It is fast. Most of the courses are 15 minutes or below, right? So it's fast. It's very relevant. They're up-to-date skills, up-to-date trends, up-to-date market needs are being talked about in some of these courses. And for good measures, there are rewards, right? You earn reward for completing courses, and those rewards can be leveraged, right? And so these are kind of courses that are available on this platform. What is tech for good, right? So things like this, do you have the right stuff to be an entrepreneur? Simple courses like this, how to build a tech for a good startup, for example. These are all modules that you can go through 15, 30 minutes and you are done, and you have that knowledge, and you take a bit of an assessment. If you've gotten to the first point where you want to raise fund, raising your first investment fund, a lot of people here say, oh, they've raised $10 million, they've raised $20 million. You want to know, how did they raise their first, funds, for their business? This course here, raising your first investment fund, gives you an idea of what to do, the steps you should take. Raising Series B is not the first. So there's pre-seed funding, there's Series A, then before you get to Series B. All these are different level of funding, right? These are, some of the courses that are available. Making a basic product test, to test. So for example, you're not the back-end developer, you're not the front-end developer, and the developer has said to you, oh, I've built XYZ that you said we should build. How do I test it? You don't have the knowledge. There's a simple course here that helps you, put that together. And also it's very building a product vision. So that's something that everybody here has to start with, right? Building a product vision, right? You're part of Labs by Bincom, you need to build a product vision. You're part of a group or a cohort in Labs by Bincom, you guys need a product vision to say, want to build this product. Why do you want to build the product, right? Not the how now, the why, and what will be the end goal if you build the product. So you have to define a product vision. How do you get to the point where you're comfortable saying this is our product vision? Again, we might not have the time to go deep into these courses, but there are simple courses here that you can just go through, and it gives you the fundamentals, the things you need to check, the boxes you need to check. Improving your product, for example, how entrepreneurs think up ideas. So some of us will be in a room or in a cohort where you are refining an idea, you're trying to think, what do we do next? How do we move forward? How do we do XYZ? Right? There are ways to think about ideas. In the startup world, it's called ideation. All right, so we're ideating. There are steps during ideating. The first thing you should consider, the market, the paper, the materials you have, the timing, the culture, the user experience you want to build. These are all things that come into ideation when you're thinking a new product. And as a cohort, we'll be working on digital product. So we're going to be doing ideation. You need to know how entrepreneurs think. You're not building a product for yourself. You're building a product that can be taken to the market. You're building a product that will be solving specific problems or specific challenge in the market. So I advise every cohort that's going to join, so please build products that are relevant, in your day-to-day. They are relevant to, to the times we live in. There's no point building, a gaming product. It's good, it's relevant, but who are you? What's the impact, right? I'm not saying gaming products are bad. I'm just saying if you look around your environment, the guy that sells, in a petty shop is looking for a product that will help him sell better. You are trying to buy XYZ from somewhere, you're looking for channels that will help you connect faster. So let's think about products, that are beneficial to our ecosystem, to the places we are currently domiciled, right? And then we can start speaking about impact. Because it's very important that you have your product is impactful. How to talk to a customer, for example, right? Many of us are fresh out of school or fresh out of work, and we haven't really been client facing. You haven't really been customer facing. So you've never been in the heat of talking to a customer that comes and say, my app is not working, or this thing you gave me is not doing what you said it would do. There's a way to talk to customer. You can't just say, oh, go and try it. Oh, we'll get back to you. There are ways, there are preferred ways, I should put it. You should talk to a customer, right? And there's a short course here that gives you step-by-step detailed ways of talking to a customer. And there are other courses around people, right? When we talk about a cohort, we're talking about us working in groups, right? A group of 5, a group of 3, a group of 4. I think the minimum group is 3 or 4, right? Once you are less than 3, it's no longer a cohort, right? So we are literally talking about you working with, a good number of people, 5, 6. I don't know what the upper limit is at the moment, but that means you need to know how to be in a team, how to work with people in a team. And this section of the course talks about people, working with people. For example, how do you create a culture within your cohorts, right? A culture of punctuality, a culture of respect, respecting everybody's ideas, not shutting anybody down. How do you create that? Because without that culture, you people would not be productive. As simple as it sounds, as basic as it sounds, culture is a driver, right? If you have the wrong culture, that cohort will pack up, before it starts. Because if it's a thing as simple as you not respecting the other person's time, so you fix a meeting, say for 1 p.m., right? And people are showing up by 5 p.m. when the meeting is already expired. That means you guys don't respect each other's time, and that's the culture. And if you cannot respect each other's time, you can't work together. Do you understand? So creating a culture within your cohort and surviving, living within a culture within the entire, Last by Bincom. Last by Bincom has its own culture. And some of the things that host was talking about, we're speaking directly to our culture, right? So you need to know what is the culture in play, what are the culture am I instilling into this cohort, into my group, right? Is it a culture of saying, every 2 days we have to be productive, we have to meet, we have to have something, a track record that we are, sharing and growing. These are very sort of important things to look out for. And it's a course here that breaks it down very, very granularly, right? How to set up a board. For example, you're building a digital product and we're saying at some point you have to take it to the market. There's advisory board, right? But before we even get to an advisory board, how do you set up a board? You hear people say we have board meetings, companies having board meetings, and it sounds like, oh, that's what companies do. But there are systems to it, there are steps to it, and a board represents something, right? What is a board? Why is it called an advisory board? There are courses, and it also speaks to you dealing with people because a board is made up of people, right? And how do you pick a board, for example? How do you pick people that are on your board? So there are courses on this platform that is very rich and very engaging. Another thing that you will find is building pipeline for talent, or what you call building a talent pipeline for rapid scaling. So you're going to be 5 in your group or more, but you're going to have deficiency in talent. So probably you need a graphics guy, you need a Python guy, or somebody that understands data, and you probably have to outsource that because you don't have that skill for one reason or the other, you don't have that particular skill within your cohort. How do you begin to build talent, build a pipeline where you can, leverage on people, right? To come in, somebody with the skill you guys don't have, how do you build that, right? How do you work around that? There are courses. So this is a very rich portal, and I advise you to come in here, sign up, register, have a calendar, have a schedule of you going to this, taking these courses. Look through a lot of courses. I don't advise you do everything because it's a lot of hours you're going to be investing, but I advise you do a significant number of these courses across the different portfolios. So we have the product portfolio, we have the people portfolio that I just went through. There's the operations and finance portfolio, how to manage relationship with investors. That probably will be on the later stage when you have built a product, you have the product, you've gone to the market and people are saying, oh, we want to invest in the product. How do I manage such relationship? How to prepare for your first investment. What to include in your deck is something you should learn from now. As you are building the product, as you guys are putting your ideas together, you should have a pitch deck. Yeah, have a deck that describes the product that anybody can pick up, and read, and they're familiar with what you are building, you're familiar with what you are pitching or what you are putting to the market. So what to include in your pitch deck, it's a fantastic resource you want to go through, right? There are quite a number of them, and they are in different buckets, right? So this is the marketing portfolio, which is a different bucket, understanding target customers for campaign. So when you are building a product, you have to understand the market you are building for. And initially when I started, I said you probably have to do your research, market research. There are courses here that speaks to market research. So you don't need to finish building your product before you start looking at market. You have to, have the market need, the pain point you're trying to solve, inform some decision that you're going to be taking in the ideating stage, when you're thinking about the product. So understanding target customer for campaign is very important, right? Using content to build a community fan base, that can come in later when you have a product. You don't want to use your content to build followership, loyalty. There are people that will tell you, they'll send you an email, just an example of using content to build community fan base. They'll send you an email and tell you if you want more, subscribe, right? Then you start getting their newsletter and you start getting updates on their product. That's them using content, which is the email, to build community fan base. There are different methods to it. There are different methods, there are different style, which one works for your product. Depending on the product that you're building, your product might be an offline product. So that means your customers are not online. So you can't possibly be sending them emails. So what do you do when your customers are not online and they're offline? How do you build a community of fans? This course will break it down for you. It's a very, it's a very rich portal, and that's why we recommend it, and that's why we're using it at Lab by Bincom. Setting your digital marketing goals. This speak to goal setting, right? It's a course that you want to know. So for example, we're in a cohort and we say we want to build a digital product that help us convert coins to notes, for example. Just give an example, right? Then you have to now say, okay, when are we going to market? Now, there's a course up that I passed that's talking about setting goals, where you can set goals to say first week of, and I think Lab by Bincom has, sort of a goal calendar for every team and expectations, but your team can go forward to set goals to say by first week of December, we want to be able to wrap up ideation. By second week of December, we want to be able to start development. By third week of December, we want to be able to do, goal setting. And that also applies to go to market. So digital marketing goals, for example. What are the goals? When you talk about digital marketing, it means, putting adverts, on the digital platforms, or putting communication content, I should say, on digital platforms for it, right? So for customers to consume, for customers to create an awareness about the product you've built. How do I come to that point to say, okay, this ad or this content has been running for 2 weeks. it's time to change, right? For example, so it's an amazing repository of knowledge. Calculating your market cost, writing your market plans. It's very important, and of course, brand and communication. We start thinking about communication again from ideation, right? You don't wait till you have built the product to start communicating, because how you build a product will tell what communication tool you will use, right? You start sharing among yourself, communication is going on, right? Among yourself, you have to learn how to communicate the products, understand the product to the point that at any given time, you can communicate what you're trying to build. You can communicate the product. So communication is quite important. Choosing a social media platform to communicate, that also speaks to your, for example, what is the platform? What are you building? Which platform best advertise what you're building? Recent observation, I don't want to call it research because they are not done, says that the younger generations are no longer on Facebook. We have older generation on Facebook. So if you're building a feature or a product for the older generation, guess what? For the younger generation, they are no longer on Facebook. They are on TikTok now, right? And if you go and start your marketing from Facebook, you will get adoption, but you not get as much adoption if your target market is the younger generation, because recent findings or recent observation says that the younger generations have moved from Facebook and they are more visual inclined, so they are now on TikTok and Instagram, right? So you'll probably be marketing to a semi or advanced, not too young generation. So you have to put that in context when you are choosing a platform to market. Who am I targeting and where exactly are they playing at the moment? So it's a very rich repository, and you can register. It's free, right? It's free platform. Register, come in here among your cohorts. What I advise is that you guys put together like a calendar and share knowledge. So somebody can say, oh, I'm learning how to build a tech startup, for example, and you go on to learn that course. Then you put a 5 to 10 minute stand up with your team and just share before your meeting starts. Just share what you have learned. Share what you think is useful for the cohort or for the product that you guys are building. How to measure and impact, how to measure and communicate your impact. So it's quite simple. It's quite simple, and I'm already ready to start on the platform, right? So that's why it goes. Normally you have to register to get the access. Now there are steps, right? More or less like a timeline that you should follow. So you start the course. There are different quarters and what the course cover. The directors or the instructor that took the course, they're all listed, and again, it's video based. This one runs for 10 minutes, 10 minutes, right? So you are, for example, and you have assessments, simple assessment that you can just take and you submit and you're done. And you have that knowledge about, how to measure and communicate your impact. So it's very important. You can't build, I can't stress this enough. You cannot build a product without knowledge, right? I can't stress that enough. You can't build a product without knowledge. You have to invest in knowledge. You have to learn. You have to unlearn, especially if you are switching from one career field to another into tech, right? You have to be able to unlearn and learn new stuff, right? So for example, communication can mean something different in a military environment. It can mean something different in different environments. So you don't carry your knowledge of communication into products, into building a startup. You have to learn, what does it mean in the startup environment? What does it mean in my current product that I'm developing? What does communication mean? How do I communicate? Because you are communicating first to different stakeholders. First, you're communicating among yourselves. You're communicating to Last by Bincom stakeholders. Then you're going to be communicating to the external stakeholders who are your customers. right? First, so you have to take note of those things, and you have to know, how do I put this in context? How do I put this in context? How do I frame thoughts? So we want to build a car that runs on water. It sounds, interesting, but how do I say it in such a way that an audience want to listen for more? So it's important we put that in perspective, and we take those courses. Important to note that, yes, Labs by Bincom is going to provide mentors. Labs by Bincom is going to provide instructions and direction, but you have to invest time because the resource is here, right? You have to invest time in building your own knowledge base, right? And of course, because you're coming from a different environment, some of these things, some of these words may sound like you've heard them before, you've used them before. They're words that you're familiar with, but the interpretation of these words are different and might be different, right? So we have, because you're building a product vision, what you learn, how to define your product vision, how to create user persona, how to create your first feature list, what to do, basically scroll down, steps for building a product, right? This is ideation, which is the first step that you guys are going to do as a cohort together. What is the idea? Put ideas together, refine the idea, decide what you want to build. Then you start building and you learn, right? You manage. For example, when you say build, now we're not saying you're writing the code. You have to write out what you want to build. All right, what are the different steps? What are the things you want to do, right? So we call them stories, story points in tech. So we say, you build out the stories, or you build out what they call the product document that outline the different features that you want to build, right? You're going to learn, go to the market, want to do this, what do you guys think? What is the feedback? And that goes back to building. You manage the information you get from the market or from the audience. You also manage the information among yourself. You also manage people, among yourself. Then before you get to the coding, if you notice, coding is like the last thing, right? Before you get to, okay, developer, this is what we want to build, right? So there are processes that we need to follow to be very optimal, right? And there are different, example, the courses here. And I need you guys to come in here, take your time, study, understand them. Some of them, they are video-based. Some of them are video-based. Some of them are very, as you can see, they are quite short, all right? So it's not cumbersome. It's not, you're not back in class learning for 2 hours. And they are fun, actually. User persona, what is a user persona? User persona is just you defining who your product is for. Who is that person? How much does he earn at the moment? Where does he live? Is he a family man? Is he a single man? Where does he hang out? Does he have spare cash, like they call it, that he can invest? Just understanding what are the person that you're going to sell to. So for example, if you're selling to a copper, what is the user persona of a copper? He goes to work 9 to 5. He's a teacher in a primary school. He earns 19.8, right? You need to know, okay, where does he hang out? Most coppers are part of a CDS group, right? And stuff like that. You need to understand where they spend their time. You need to understand how they spend their money. I need to find, where does your product fit? Does it fit into how they spend their time? And is your product going to affect how they spend their money? So building a user persona is something that I implore you guys during ideation to also take out time to review, right? So it's very rich, and the beauty of it is that you're not Googling and looking for links. The message, the content are all here, right? And you can just simply go through, understand them, and go through the assessments. Also, the assessment you need to go through just to help your understanding of the products, of what you're learning about. So that's Digital Business Academy, and it's highly recommended. We use it here. I think Damilare will share the link with you guys if you guys already have it. And I want to see people ask questions, intelligent questions, because they've gone through some of these courses and they have a better understanding of how to approach product, how to build product, how to talk to people, how to do ideation, how to do user persona, and the likes. So thank you. Do we have questions? I can quickly take the. Are they free? Yes, they are free. All you need is your internet. Just log into this site. Down below again, we share the link. The courses are absolutely free for all of them. They are free. So take advantage of it, right? So yeah. Damilare.
Yeah, thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much, sir. Mr. Mudiaga Ogboru is a strategy and growth expert. Is also a digital experience digital product manager. He's currently the chief operating officer and product manager of Social Reputation UK. Right. It's a great honor to have you in our midst, sir. Thank you so much, sir, for your time.
Thank you for having me, and I will stick around a bit. So if you guys have any question, I'll be here to answer these questions.
All right. Thank you so much, sir. All right. I hope you have been able to learn one or two things from the from our trainer, Mr. Moody. So quickly, right, without wasting so much time, we'll be going straight. Oh, I'm just seeing this message from Inetim. All right. All right. So quickly, we'll be going into a quick breakout room. We'll be putting everybody in a room. And what is the purpose of the breakout room? Basically, you will be discussing ideas within yourselves, right? As a team, you'll be discussing ideas within yourself. And after the breakout room, you'll be coming to present whatever you are able to, whatever idea or whatever product idea you are able to think of and present. All right. So I'll be opening the breakout room now. However, if you still have questions, please can drop your questions while I create the breakout room. You can still drop your questions in the chat box. All right, I'll be adding everyone to their breakout room now. So once you see the pop-up, just join the room. Ethan, are you still there?
No,
Please join your breakout room.
I didn't see any breakout room.
Oh, really?
Did you see what I sent to you?
Yes, I did.
Thank you as you comply.
Hi, Ngozi. Can you hear me? If you can hear me, please unmute your mic and say hi. Yes, I can see you raising your hand, Ngozi, but I'll need you to speak. I'll need you to speak, Ngozi. Unmute your mic. Your mic is currently muted. All right, Ngozi, you need to unmute your mic at some point. However, you came in very, very late, right? But notwithstanding, you'll be added to the breakout room. So you join your other team members. Give me a moment to do that.
Hello. Good evening. Sorry, it's noisy out here. I guess you can hear.
Yes. I'll be adding you to your breakout.
I didn't hear you. What did you say?
I'll be adding you to your breakout room so you can join your other members. We've already moved to the second stage of the program.
Okay.
And when you get to your room, please apologize to your team members for coming late.
Hey, Dami.
Yes, sir.
Oh, okay. So can I drop now? You guys are already in the breakout session.
Yes, we are.
I thought we'll have time for questions, but the time is fast spent. I think you're trying to go through the routines quickly.
Yeah, yes, sir.
Okay. No problem. I was literally rushing back. I was rushing back to join your meeting as I joined late. So next time I'll be up early.
All right. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much, sir, for your time.
All right. Thank you very much. So I would hope to hear more from these cohorts.
All right, sir. All right, sir.
Thank you. Take care.
Hi, Netime. I think you had network issues. I hope you can hear me. Can you hear me? Netime. Let me know if you can hear me. All right, it's Netime. I'll be adding you. We have moved to the second stage of the program. I would need to add you to now. I'm adding you to your breakout room. Apologize to your team for not coming. I think you're having issues. Are you using MTN?
Yes, I'm using it.
I think you're using MTN. Oh,
Yes,
okay. I think that's where the problem is. So I'm adding you to your breakout room now. They are ready.
Okay.
Ask them what is required and join them.
Okay, I'll do that right.
I've added you. You can join. Did you see you should be joining automatically. Were you logged out? Samuel.
MTN kicked me out too. Yes, MTN kicked me out. I don't know. Maybe it's network, maybe it's Zoom, I don't know.
Guys, let's face the reality. Let's not lie to ourselves. Guys, let's face the reality. Let's not lie to ourselves. Guys, let's face the reality. Let's not lie to ourselves. Guys, let's face the reality. Let's not lie to ourselves. Guys, let's face the reality. Let's not lie to ourselves. Guys, let's face the reality. Let's not lie to ourselves. I'm Matthias Jensen. I'm a midfielder. Let's go. No doubt for you, Ivan. This one. No doubt. That's good enough. We'll go again next time. Go lose up, striker. Italiano's midfielder. Rico Henry, left back. Midfielder. I'm Matthias Jensen. I'm a midfielder. Gilda. Let's go. No doubt for you, Ivan. This one. No doubt. The wind's picked up. Put pressure. That's good enough. Is this the Ivan Tony that Gareth Southgate left at home?
Very long. Hi, Fabri.
Good evening, sir.
Yep. We have just finished the second stage of the program. You missed the first, right?
Yes, I did.
Right. Did you come in at some point? Oh, yeah.
No.
Oh, interesting.
No, I've been having issue with my internet.
All right. We just finished the second stage. I think everybody should be coming back now from the breakout room. Right. They should be joining anywhere from now. Yep, in like 20 seconds. All right. So what do you do? Introduce yourself. What is your name? What do you do?
Yes, my name is Olaskomi David Fabusui. Yeah, and I'm a full stack developer, but I'm more of backend than front end. I use Python Flask for backend.
So why are you here in labs?
Yeah, just to grow my skills, like improve my abilities on how I develop websites. That's it.
All right, great. You're welcome.
Thank you, sir.
All right, we've done a whole lot, right? We've done a whole lot. All right, welcome, Emmanuel, Ngozi, Samuel. Where's the fourth guy? He's not here. I think he dropped off at some point. All right, so team, who is representing you? Emmanuel, Samuel, Ngozi, who is representing? Tell us what did you guys came up with, the details, the product name, the product idea, problem it is solving, what the product is for, and how you're going to make money from it. Okay. All right, let's go.
Yeah. So the product we came up with is called Tech Haven, and it's a blog, it's a digital blog. The problem it's solving is the Nigerian tech space is booming, seriously. And so we want to provide a platform that does two major things. One, it provides write-ups or content on different tech-related technologies, like JavaScript or PHP, all of that. At the same time, it also provides a platform for solving problems, something like Stack Overflow, but at least maybe targeted to the Nigerian audience. So that's the idea. The target is developers, Nigerian developers. And then in terms of monetization, we're looking at displaying adverts on the platform, hooking it up to the existing advert services, maybe like Google AdSense and all of that. So when users visit the platform to read different articles on different technologically related areas, they can see an advert from a completely different product which they are interested in, and they can click on it. From there, we generate income for ourselves as well. And then going forward, we can also, in terms of developing the content, we can, at the onset, we will build the initial content, but later on, we can employ as or professional writers to provide the content. And sorry, then there's a third aspect too. People who want to come on board, who want to maybe produce their own content on the platform, they will also pay us for that. You know, they can bring their content and then they pay us as well. In terms of existing services that are similar to that, we have Medium. It's a popular tech-related site called Medium. They write a lot of tech-related articles. You know, but you always see all these foreign guys there. So I guess we can do something like that is Nigerian. You know, building up from something like Nairaland. You know, you see how Nairaland caters for the Nigerian space, but Nairaland is very, very broad. You can ask almost anything there. So we're trying to combine all these different aspects, you know, in Nigerian aspect, and then looking at the Nigerian tech space as well. So that's what we came up with.
All right, thank you. All right, so I have a question which I'll direct to the team member, not you. So, Ungos, do you guys have a name for the brand for your products yet?
Yes, we have a name, sir.
Name.
The question is directed
Yes, is
okay.
Okay, yes, we have a name. The name is Tech Heaven.
Tech Haven. Oh, okay. So what problem will Tech Haven be solving?
Okay, we'll be solving. Okay.
The question is not for Samuel.
We'll be solving digital problems.
Okay. What do you mean by digital problem? Anybody can answer now. What do you mean by digital problem?
Okay, that is basically it's about developer-related problems. One, improving their knowledge in a particular technology stack, and then also solving day-to-day problems that come up. You know, so those are the two major. It's like a Stack Overflow, you know, question and answer, and then also you have articles for specific technologies. So you can visit the platform to read an article on a particular technology. You can visit the platform to also find answers to, you know, problems that you may be facing.
All right, so it's more like a community for techies.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. Okay, great idea, fantastic. I know Medium, I know Stack Overflow, I know Quora, right, and the likes. So I think if we can have a Nigerian version of it, it won't be too bad, right? But also have in mind, I mean, a lot of techies are looking for opportunities outside of Nigeria, right? Consider this, I'm not saying now, in the long run, right? A lot of Nigerians want to be exposed to foreigners, you know, get to network with foreigners, right, in the tech space, not just be restricted to just Nigerians, right, so that you don't box the idea, box them into, oh, just Nigerians. I need more opportunities. I need to earn in foreign currency and the like, right? So just have that at the back of your mind. All right. All right, great idea, fantastic idea. I can't wait to see this idea in labs by Bincom proper. Like I said, preliminary session, right? This is a preliminary session, which will then take us to stage one. Now, stage one would because your mic is background is taking noisy. All right. So all right. So this is the preliminary stage, right? We've gotten to know each other. We'll be moving to stage 1, right, by next weekend. Stage 1 next weekend is by the details of stage 1 on Saturday, right? Coming Saturday will be communicated for the participants that will be moved to the stage 1. As part of Labs by Bincom, for some of us who are interested, who are beginners who will be interested in getting to, getting a mentor, if you are interested in having a tech personal mentor, one-on-one mentorship, we have that opportunity on the Bincom Tech Network. It is all part of Labs. Of course, for your team, like was said earlier on, right, for the final team, you'll be having your mentor, also your team mentor that will be taking you through. You'll be able to ask questions and we're able to guide your team along the line, so you won't be left alone. Note, everybody here, please drop your email in the chat box. Drop it. It is important, or else you are definitely not going to make stage 1 if we can't find your email. So please drop your email in the chat box if you're on this call right now. All right, we have 5 minutes to do that. All right, like I said, stage 1 will be coming up. You'll be getting emails, and it will be announced on your Slack channel once you are added, right? It will be announced on your Slack channel, right? The date and time of the commencement of stage 1, which is the coming Saturday. So prepare your mind to attend. If failure to attend means you won't be part of it, you'll be part of Labs, all right? So please put that in your calendar. The time will be confirmed during the week. So stay tuned on Slack. Slack, a lot of people don't get it. Slack is not like your WhatsApp. So if you need to set up notifications, if you need to check your Slack regularly, right, please do that. We will not entertain an excuse of, oh, I did not know when the message will drop on Slack. It's important. It's your duty to keep track of whatever is going on Slack to ensure once you are added to your channel, please keep track of what is being discussed there. Very, very, very important. All right. All right. Samuel, can you please let me document the emails that have been dropped in the Slack, in the chat group? All right. I hope you guys had a swell time today. You'll most likely be meeting your mentor. You'll most likely be meeting your mentor. All right. You'll be meeting your mentor by Saturday when the stage 1 kickstarts. You'll most likely be meeting your mentor then. All right, so please keep that in mind, right? So if you are not on Slack, once you are added, if you are not on our Slack channel, once you are added, you will most likely receive an email. So keep an eye on your email, keep an eye on your Slack once you're added. So please, this is no time to ignore your email for 2 days or 3 days. Keep an eye on your email, for the Slack invitation if you are not yet on our Bincom Tech Network Slack channel. Do you have any questions? Do you have any questions? Any questions from anybody? If you joined late, I'm sure you might have more questions about what Labs is all about. Right, you might be lucky to move to stage 1, then you get more details of what Labs is all about. For those who were here from the onset, they already have an idea of what Labs is. And other things you missed if you just joined is we had a training session where we brought in a product expert, right? It's currently the that's Mr. Mudiaga Ogboru. Is currently the CTO of Social Lender UK, right? And he would also be available next week if possible, but it's most likely not going to be your mentor. All right. So please do not miss stage 1's meeting if you move to the next stage. All right. Thank you, guys. In the absence of any questions, I think this is a good time to end this meeting. All right. See you guys next week, Saturday. Again, keep an eye on your email. It is very, very important. All right. Thank you, guys. Have a great weekend ahead.
Thank you.
Thank you. Nice meeting everyone here. Thank you, even though the noise and everything. Hello. Nice meeting everyone.